Right, let's get stuck into domestic matters and talk about the British economy and particularly SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, with Douglas Anderson, who's the Joint Managing Director of Gap Hire Solutions. And he's one of the business leaders that has been warning about this new business property relief, which strikes me, Mr. Anderson, as the kind of new farm tax. It's like a business tax that the Chancellor is imposing on companies like yours. Tell us about it and tell us why you've written to Rachel Reeves.
Morning, Camilla. It's the main issue is it's discriminatory and targeted against family businesses. The public companies, foreign-owned companies, PE-backed companies are not having to bear any of this proposed new tax. So we really feel that it's a direct attack on family businesses, and we feel that's unfair, anti-competitive, and will force family businesses to make decisions that they are forced to make by the government, but they may not be the best decisions for the company.
Sure.
So
just explain it. Just explain it, Mr. Anderson, because previously, you have a situation where if you run a family firm and you want to pass it on to your sons and daughters or anyone in the family, then you get some relief when it comes to tax obligations once you pass the business on after death. A little bit like the new farming tax. The Labour government is saying that you can't now have that relief. Is that right?
Yes, it's effectively a 20% tax on the value of the assets you're passing on. But what they seem to miss is we're not passing on cash. We're passing on assets, and assets potentially with no value. So where's the money going to come from? It's not the company that has to pay the tax if they bring it in. It's the individuals who the shares are gifted to. So where are they going to get the money from? It's not a cash crystallization event. So you die, you pass your shares on, and they have to find 20% of the value of the company, which brings up another point. How are they going to value the company? There's no accepted method of valuing the worth of a company. Then if they're forced to sell the company to pay the tax, it's going to be a distressed sale, and they're not going to get anything like what the value of the company is, and it's not going to be bought by another family business. It's going to be bought by a PLC or a foreign-owned company or a PE-backed company. Yeah. And it's going to drive family businesses out of business. Simple.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GBNews discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GBNews to start protecting yourself digitally today.
You make such a good point about, foreign takeovers, because some of these companies that have signed this letter that you've written, you've got 200 family firms on board, including the likes of the shortbread giant Walkers, which everyone will be familiar with, the tea cake titan Tunnocks. Well, yes, I'm very familiar with Tunnocks, if you don't mind. Charlie Bingham's, the construction firm Malcolm Brothers. And what will happen here is that these companies will just be seized by the likes of the Chinese.
Yes, it will be, and a point I think that people don't get. There is only one creator of wealth in any society, one creator, and that's business. It's only businesses that create wealth, and we fully accept that there are public projects that need funded. We're more than happy to pay our way. But you've got to create the wealth before you can distribute it. And to hammer family businesses that account for 50% of the jobs in the private sector is counterproductive. And CBI Economics survey, they concluded, reckon this would cause a fiscal deficit of 1.2 billion and the loss of 126,000 jobs.
I mean, what due diligence did the government do? I mean, I hadn't really heard that they were planning this. This seems to have come out of nowhere.
Well, we all know there's black holes all over the place and they need money. This will not raise the money now. This might, well, people are saying it's going to be a deficit, but even if it did raise some money similar to the wealth tax, it's not going to raise it in the lifetime of this parliament or even the next parliament. So they need money, they need it now, and this is not the way to get the money now. We've already suffered the 2% effective increase in employers' national insurance, which cost my company another £4 million in tax. So this is the final straw for family businesses. It's an existential threat to family businesses.
Mr. Anderson, how hard is it at the moment running your own company? I was on holiday with a chap that has a successful business, and he was talking to me about how he's lost his business rates relief and he's had to find, I think it was like 75 extra grand on top of all of the other expenses he's facing. Utility bills up, wage bills up because of the increase in the minimum wage. As you mentioned, employers, NICs, and we haven't even had Angela Rayner's workers' rights bill yet.
Yeah, well, every single one of these affect growth. This government has said first and foremost, the most important part of their parliament is economic growth, and every single one of these policies are causing the opposite to happen. They're going to cause a decline. You know, we will have to reduce our investment in our business because there's more going in tax, so our company won't grow as quickly. Today we employ over 2,000 people. That cannot grow because our costs are going up at such a pace that our investment will go down, our taking on people will go down. And the irony of it is this was brought in 1976 by Dennis Healey, who was one of the most left-wing chancellors ever. And he brought in this business property relief for exactly the problems that are going to be recreated if it's brought back in again.
Yeah.
That's
Final quick question, Mr. Anderson. Is Rachel Reeves fit for purpose?
She's got a pretty difficult job. She needs to raise money. The trouble is, the Labour government and to the Tories to some extent, they will not grasp the nettle and revisit the huge welfare bill that we have in the country. We're supporting people that shouldn't be supported, and we are clobbering people who should be supported to grow the economy. So it's just the wrong way around. But they don't have the bottle to do it.
No.
When you see the U-turns they've had on welfare so far, and a backbench revolt, they could do a U-turn. We're talking about growing the economy, and it's not going to happen with these policies.
Fair enough. Douglas Anderson, thank you very much indeed for joining me this morning.